Hello, folks, and welcome back. We're gonna run into issues for a little bit. I've been having difficulty getting this game to work. I go to start play, and it's playing or launching, and then nothing. Nothing happens. Sometimes, after the 2 times I've tried, one time, stuff would appear in background processes. The other time, nothing would appear. Now I closed everything in background processes. I tried again, and the game opened. Except I tried to open SOD, and this opened. I was trying to open up Pandaria, and I tried to open up, this. When that didn't work, I tried to open up Season Discovery, because I do remember seeing that there was a switch option, and I was hoping I could somehow switch to this and get it running that way. So when I was trying to get into SOD, I got into this instead. It's just been really fucking scattershot for the last bit. Since I came back to it. I have no idea why. I might uninstall it and reinstall it. But you may have heard it for a moment there. A second window of this opened up and started playing. So at any stage, there we go. There's some more things of it. Now I've Season Discovery open. And it's after locking my mouse. So I can't actually do anything about it for the moment. So this is no longer the Miss Pandaria Preamble. Or actually I might still call it that because Miss Pandaria's prepatch is just out. No. Come on. It keeps locking the mouse. So it just ends up stuck at the end of the screen. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. But no, I will call this Miss Pandaria. So Miss Pandaria Classic. Welcome to the first episode of it, folks. We're continuing where we left off in the preamble. And I will be popping that level boost so I can actually do the Battle of Terramore. Now, if you're curious about why I grimaced in pain there, one story is I kind of left my nails grow a little too long, and I ended up stubbing my toe on something. The nail broke. And well, it quite quickly broke pretty far. It was most of the way across, but it wasn't breaking that last little bit. And as I would take a step, the jagged edge was getting jammed on. Jabbed onto my skin, like the sensitive undernail skin. So I cut most of it off, but the last little bit is hard to grab. It keeps moving, and yeah, I'll have to try again after my shower tomorrow. Cause yeah, it's lethal. Seal command. So yeah, as you can see, I have lost access to auras now that Pandaria is out. I still have these perks. Did they actually survive into this? It may say it's called the guild perk, but I'm not actually in a guild. So okay. Templar's verdict used to exist. Okay. I think I am down abilities. So yeah, basically I stubbed my toe on the... I'm lying in bed. I stubbed my toe on the duvet, so it hit off that shard of a nail, and yeah, it's very sore. I spent the last, like, 2 hours trying to deal with it, but since I couldn't deal with it, I kept getting distracted by, manga and whatnot. Ah. Evil is a point of view. Turn evil now affects humanoids and beasts. You gain 50% movement speed at all times, an additional 5% per holy charge, up to 3. Successful judgment increases movement speed by 45%, or speed of light, increase movement speed by 70%. We'll just go for passive improvement. It's what I'm used to. Hmm. Didn't I have more abilities? I'm probably thinking of SOD. It claims I can... Sorry. Claims I'm tracking them, but I'm not seeing it. Oh, I'm really not a fan of that rotating the minimap.
I can't cast that.
This is also set to consume 3 charges to do 330% weapon damage plus 28. So it's no longer this like scaling thing, but has an inherent cost. It's very damn loud.
That's still recharging.
Not what I wanted, but oh well. It's only a 10-minute cooldown anyway. Okay, that's how I do it here. Just tap LT.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Promulgation to the Gorilla.
I can't cast that. That spell isn't ready yet.
That did not work. Yeah, neither B or A worked there. Okay, let's take a second to try fix this. I'm opening up curse. We'll trundle on over here and grab some herbs at the very least. Apparently there is a glitch at present that means gathering stuff, or maybe just decidedly just gathering herbs, doesn't actually provide skill ups.
I can't cast that.
But they're fixing that for the next update. Help Help me, Desik. The Bristlelimb captured me and are planning to sacrifice me to their foul gods. High Chief Bristlelimb holds the key that opens the cage. Force him to appear, you must slaughter the evil Bristlelimb furbolgs that inhabit the Enclave. There's 2 camps to the west of this camp. If you kill enough of them, he will surely come for vengeance. When he shows up, kill him and get the key. My father will richly reward you if you can save me. Oh, I saw some of these earlier and didn't think to grab it. Whoops. Oh god, some of these have gone grey.
I don't have a target.
You just have my UI back up. Billy Club.
I can't cast that.
Probably not an improvement. I only have to kill the boss dude at the top. So we'll go get him done now in a sec.
I need to get closer. I can't cast that.
This version of Seal Command, it just my melee attacks do an extra 10% damage. There's many types of Seal Command. The Seal Command from yesteryear, which you've seen in Classic. Never got it. Actually, I may have had it for all 5 minutes, but didn't use it much. Damn it.
That spell isn't ready.
But yeah, Seal Command from yesteryear. That it did some damage, but it wasn't a percentage amount. It was just basically an improved version of Seal of Righteousness.
That spell isn't ready. I can't cast that. That's still recharged.
Then there was a version that where it was a cleave version. It was like it was an AOE seal basically. Huh. Naga with a glaive. Fitting because former night elf, but are there even many that use that?
I can't cast that. That spell isn't ready.
But yeah, there's a few different versions of Seal Command. The version from Classic, which was basically just an improved Seal of Righteousness. There was an AOE seal. There's this one where with just a percentage increase to our attacks.
Too far away. That's still recharged. I can't cast that.
This is the enclave she mentioned.
That's still recharged. That spell isn't ready. Ha!
Okay. Chest. I will be heading to the mailbox soon. We'll get it up at Bloodwatch.
I'm out of range. That's
I'm curious to see what sold, what didn't sold. So speaking of, I do need to also go to backtest with D and save my auctions there. Well, it doesn't really matter. I do dislike the idea of losing stuff.
I can't
I'll go.
That spell isn't ready. Yeah.
Was expecting you to be bigger.
I can't
I'll go and store them on my banker alt and bank it in the second, and we'll leave it at that. I still haven't gotten to do that send-off yet. I messaged Guildy about it and he's still up for helping. And I've put up a renewed request in the guild Discord. Others had been willing for it, but things got a little chaotic here and it fell apart. Had the end of the course to deal with and whatnot, so yeah. But I'll get to do that send-off for SOD, and that'll be that. Though, that being said, this is going up before any of this is even relevant. As of time of recording, like, my first Molten Core episode hasn't even come out yet. So I'm still in retired. Retired has since been retired, and I'm over in Great Parsers. Which has some ex-retired alumni in it, but yeah. Oh, actually need to actually go and leave you out, not just run past. But so yeah, when I'm saying about a send-off to SOD, what I'm talking about is I want to get I want to see the two new dungeons that were added to the game. I want to finish one of the Paladin Rune quests since I'm already halfway done, and I want to get the Paladin Epic Mount. That's what I would like to do. It's we'll see what gets done, but yeah, that's what I would like to do. Just as a send-off. Still not also in the guild for here yet. I've been awkward about asking on the guild's Discord. Thank you for seeing me, Desik. My father will be delighted. But plus, I've been away from WoW for quite a while, so it was, would be no place to ask for an invite. But we'll have to check and see. If the guildie I have. I thought I was Velen for a moment. It's like Jesus. One of the guildies that from either retired and then Grey Parsers is apparently getting recruit rank in this, so I'll see if they're on and get an invite off them.
The Legion will fall.
Oh, Ravagers, yes. I do dislike how Blizzard's treated the game. Like, you go from Classic to, Old World Azeroth, to Burn Crusade, to Wrath, to Cata, to Pandaria, to WoD, to Legion, to Battle for Azeroth, to Shadowlands, to Dragon Isles, to the War Within. That's the way you're meant to play the game, and it's the way the game makes most sense. But every time they add a new expansion, to my understanding of it, they shuffle things a little. As in, okay, you've just defeated Hogger. Where do you want to go next? Do you want to continue in Classic WoW? Do you want to go to Outland? Do you want to go to Wrath of the Lich King? Do you want to go to Cataclysm? Do you want to, deal with Legion, So the moment War Within is no longer the new thing, it's going to be moved to that list. And like the way the games are structured, at least the older expansions, the ones that I've done, are centered around the idea of us being a champion of our faction. That we've done. Oh, there's AoE looting now. That we've done stuff of note. So when you go to deal with WoD, you're dealing with WoD as a champion of the Horde the Horde or Alliance. There's no and. You're dealing with it as a champion. So, and you're put, it's story-wise, put in control of the expedition. You're the head honcho of the place. And that makes sense if you're playing as a character who's gone through all the other expansions. You've gone through Burning Crusade, well, you bet Classic, you went through Burning Crusade, you went through Wrath, you went through Cataclysm, you went through Pandaria. You're a person who, obviously it's hard to know what's actually even canon anymore, because they've declared that Aldir, not Aldir, Oldham? No, not Oldham. You know the one in the Badlands? Whatever that place is called? Do we have a mod on that lets me see? No. I think I have add-ons on, but they're not fully working. Alright, I never did continue with this. Not now. Get them updated. Update. Sending updates for SOD as well. So, you know the dungeon over in Badlands? That has been decreed to have never been completed. It's been around for the last 20 years. There's quests that have come from there. But it's been decreed to have never actually been done. But yeah, they've decreed that it's never actually been done. They've never actually run it. No one's ever completed it. With the Spy Master of SI7 decreeing that he's never seen someone, you know, like there's particular artifacts tied with it, but he's never seen any adventurer walking away with it. Huh? I thought I saw a flash of light over there. Here, let me just jack out this cable of mine. Maybe just been light glinting off it, but I'm worried it was a spark. But yeah, so that dungeon that's been there, we've had quests come from it, and it's been, you know, generally accepted to have been done for the last 20 years, was decreed in a Chronicles to have never been completed. So it's hard to know exactly what our characters could have done lore-wise, and given that there's no indications in-game as to what dungeons are canonically Horde or Alliance dungeons, if you get me. Like, the Stockades is clearly an Alliance dungeon, same with Stillpine Forest. Not Stillpine Forest, Shadowfang Keep. Those are clearly Alliance and Horde dungeons. But, you know, in Battle for Azeroth, you know the dungeon in you know, the Storm Sage area? That's a Horde. Sorry, not the dungeon, the raid in the Storm Sage area. That's a Horde raid. The Horde are canonically the ones who have defeated that. Similarly, I think the Horde are the ones who canonically have dealt with Aldir. The Horde got boat raids. Boat of the opening raids, that expansion. That did come second, right? The Stormsong raid? That's... Actually, that might be what it's called. The Storm Sage raid. That area, you know? Where it's the two bosses and whatnot. Fuck, whatever. At least my UI is working a bit better now. I just want to move that. But yeah, basically the point I'm getting at is while it's hard to say with any degree of certainty, there we go. Well, it's hard to say with any degree of certainty, um, what we've canonically done as a champion, as a character. Like, okay, let me start this point again. Like, look, the idea behind WoD, just respawned. The idea behind WoD, ooh, I got XP. Nice, that worked out. The idea in WoD is that we're a champion of our faction, alliance or horde, and because of all we've done, we're put in charge of the expedition. But with the new way they've done the leveling system, instead of doing, like, you hit level 10, you've defeated Hogger. Well done. You are now can go to WoD and be a champion of the alliance. You can now go and help deal with Legion. You can potentially head straight over to the Dragon Isles. You know, it doesn't make sense. Like, like even after by the end of Classic, you are a champion of your faction. Oh, jumping hasn't been rebound. This whole thing got completely banjaxed. How do I rebind this? Actually, I could just do defaults. There we go. Okay, that's garish. I swear they made it worse again. What if I chose a different controller? Does it actually notice?
I need a target.
No, this is still garish. I think it's gotten worse. Anyway, so yeah, like the story is set up around the idea of you having gone through the other expansions and become a champion of your faction. That's what the story centers around. And it doesn't make sense for you to just, like, you've defeated Hogger, you'll now lead our expedition into an alternate dimension version of our of Draenor. Not our world, but of Draenor. It makes no sense. I don't know what's up with that, like, this effect. Weaken blows 10%. Okay, it's just part and parcel Crusader Strike. But it doesn't make sense for us to go from fighting Hogger, or, you know, where I am right now before here, to being in Burning Crusade, to being in Wrath of the Lich King. It doesn't make sense.
It's too far away. That spell isn't ready.
like in Burn Crusade and Wrath of Lich King, we are just at least. I don't remember quests emphasizing, or at least early on, emphasizing our importance. You know, beyond maybe in Wrath, us getting to skip a queue. You know, late Wrath, there is a character in Icecrowns who says, "No one doesn't know your name." Like they're an Alliance NPC, and saying that there's no one in the Alliance who doesn't know of us. They claim. So there is there our status is acknowledged there, but it's really emphasized in WoD and in Legion, where we're the leader of our faction's expedition to Draenor, and then in Legion we're the leader of our class. We are the head honcho of paladins, of mages, of priests. We're the head honcho. Like my Palnai and Desik here, if he hits Legion, are is or will be the High Lord. So chicken meatballs sound good. So like you go from defeating Hogger, if even that, to suddenly being the High Lord or being like the Archmagus. It doesn't make sense. The story and the game is weaker for it. I can kind of get why they're doing it. Like, hey, people want to play with their friends. We should, limit the blockers between that as much as possible. But at the same time, it is lessening the game. And if their friends really want to play with them, then they can roll up a new character or bring their higher level and play with the person. They can go. There's other ways of playing it rather than trying to, you know, discourage people from playing the rest of the game as much as you can. So, yeah. The more I play this, the more I keep thinking, like, fuck. I would love to have the money to just somehow take WoW off Blizzard's hands. Fuck, take StarCraft 2. And, get competent writers and try and do it the fuck right. Or the competent designers and do it right. You may think that's very arrogant of me, and it probably is. But I keep thinking of Brood War, where they effectively make it a plot hole for anyone to be able to fight against Karrigan. They may be thinking, what the fuck you going on about? Simple. Garrigan mind controls one of the most powerful psychics in the sector from somewhere within the sector. We don't actually know where she was when she did it. She didn't infiltrate the place and directly attack her and overpower her. Nah, she was, before she even set foot on the planet, that psychic was under her control. The Nerazim's matriarch. I couldn't remember. Can't remember her name right now. Um, but the matriarch during Brood War. She dominates her from somewhere in the sector. It's completely nonsensical for anyone to be able to resist her. That matriarch was Protoss, was ancient. Common cliche in all these things would be that would make her even more powerful. But regardless, she was meant to be strong, and she gets dominated from potentially planets away. How can anyone, especially like someone like Raynor who doesn't have psychic abilities, go up against that? Karrigan could just make Mangsk walk out of Core Hall and kill himself in a spawning pool. Just dive in and start drinking it. Or inflate a gun. or throw himself off the building. She wouldn't even have to leave Char to do it. So yeah, Blizzard comes up with great settings, but they don't really think shit through. And that's been true since, well, forever probably. I've seen people before saying that Blizzard's writing is more centered towards like summer blockbuster, you know? It's big and flashy, but probably not well thought out. And it's frustrating because I like the world, I like the settings. But I really do need to shut up about this. It's just what else am I to talk about? I've gone through this many a time, both recording with G and recording without G. And I've nothing else to say at this point. And it's what my mind keeps just fucking going to.
Open your heart to the light.
It's just like, I really like WoW. I think it's a great game. But it's, you know, it's banjaxed. I bitch it because I like it. I bitch because I want it. I know it can be better, you know? Sons of Lothar encourage peace and understanding. Or whatever it fucking was. He wouldn't speak like that. You know? He wouldn't speak like that. It's nonsensical. I don't really know the character too well enough to like be certain of like I could suggest replacement lines, but I don't know the character well enough to suggest them. You know? One thing I'm always concerned about is character voice. You know? When you read lines, you can sometimes even hear the character saying it. Like I remember reading a comic before where it was Niles got into a fight with his wife, not Daphne, but his initial wife, whatever she was called, I can't remember. Maris. He gets in a fight with Maris. He had given all the like help the day off because he wanted to be a romantic day with just the two of them. He got into a fight with her though, and I mean he may have blew too hardly in her direction. She fell down dead. He covers her with the carpet and calls Fraser. And they're talking, and Fraser accidentally steps on a crease, and that was actually the death blow for Maris. In reality, she wasn't dead. She was incapacitated. And that crease was actually her neck. So they're trying to cover up the death, and they go back home, and they find an old friend of the father's there, Columbo. I don't remember who did this comic, but it's if you search Fraser Columbo crossover, you'll probably find that it was a great little fan comic, and I've never seen Columbo, so I can't talk on his side, but I could actually hear Kelsey Grammer and whoever played Niles saying the lines in the comic. I could actually hear the character saying it. It was very well done. So much so that I wish I could go back to the heyday of the show, somehow pluck Kelsey Grammer and Niles from it, go back to the heyday of Columbo, pluck him from it, and get them to act the comic out. You know? It was very well done. So, it's always a concern of mine of getting the character voice right. You know? So, since I don't... And I used to like, worry about that even with my own characters, and I'm the one who invented them. You know? Just like, is this the character speaking, or is too much of me coming through here? Like, it can be difficult of separating. You know, I've some difficulty separating myself on some of them. There may be like overlap of personality traits, so it's just like, because that's not what I want. So So yeah, even though they're my own characters, I have difficulty getting. I worry about getting the voice right. And since he's not my character, and I don't know the guy too well, I wouldn't know like how exactly he would phrase something. But like, let's say he is talking about they've been trying. The peace has been their agenda for the last while. He would say that they've been trying their hands at peacekeeping or something to that effect. Um, it's much better than Sons of Lothar encourage peace and understanding or whatever. It's Sons of Lothar have worked as peacekeepers for the last time. We've had our fill of war. And again, that would actually be understandable. If you don't know the Sons of Lothar, the group of madmen, they're the ones who charged through the Dark Portal and broke it from the other side, dooming themselves to be trapped on Draenor, till many years later, the portal opened again. And it wasn't by their hand. They were content to die fighting over there. So then again, they could always just move to Shatrat. I'm sure they would have been taken in. I mean, fuck, the Sunhawks were. No, not the Sunhawks, the other group. They were, so. But yeah, group of madmen that, you know, threw themselves into the fire to protect their people, to protect their world from like alien invaders. Demonically empowered alien invaders, you know. Khadgar was one of them. So yeah. Framing it as more of like a peacekeeping exercise or whatnot feels a bit more palatable. So, yeah. It's because it still feels, I don't know, feels better. But still, I don't know the character well enough to have no character voice. And considering that they keep going through like different like writers, well, apparently they fired a lot of their lore team, and then they brought people on, didn't have the proper training for them, and set them out writing the story, the game's bibles, and them getting details grotesquely wrong. Well, it stands to reason that they probably don't know the character voices either. If you don't know what I'm referencing there, for the chronicles that covered the events of BFA, they claim that the Alliance War campaign happens in totality before the Horde War campaign, even though the war campaigns were a give and take in game. Canonically, events that require the Horde to be in Zuldazar, to strike out from the Zuldazar and hit the Alliance territories in Koltiris, actually happened before the Horde ever reached Zuldazar. Yes. I don't quite know the exact order of events, but we'll just do it in a very in a cheap way, so it's easy to understand. First quest went to the Alliance. Second quest went to the Horde. Third quest went to the Alliance. Fourth quest went to the Horde. It was a give and take. You know, the Alliance would do something. They would head to Koltiris. The Horde broke a guy out and headed to Zuldazar. The Alliance did this, the Horde did that, the Alliance did this, the Horde struck, the northern Koltiran zone. The Alliance did, went to Zuldazar zone. There was a give and take, and there was a dance with the campaign. Not that you saw it too much when you were doing the war campaigns. There was the odd, like, oh, the Horde are attacking here, and this one guy does a grand last stand as a distraction. And there was a little bit of nods like that, but it was like, without playing a Horde and Alliance character, you don't really know much of the war campaigns, like the antics on either side. But yeah, so like the lore Bibles, as much as they aren't really anymore. The Chronicles, they're being wrote by people who don't know the events of the game and don't know the trust of things. Maybe that situation's been resolved and fixed, but I kind of doubt it. Blizzard really doesn't care much for the story side of things. And I question how much they care for the mechanics side of things, given that they've introduced a way to play the game with one button.
Safe journey.
You play a single button,
Be well.
you press a single button, and you can do your entire rotation. So I'm like just here pressing X, 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 X,
I need to target something
X,
first.
X, X, and that's my entire rotation. So it just feels grotesquely reductive. So, yeah. But yeah, I would love to have that kind of fuck you money to just take the properties from them. They'll never sell, obviously, but no, that's just how fuck you that money is. So, I'll turn these quests in. We'll get the next thing to head to Bloodwatch, and then I'll continue the idea.
Each day is a blessing.
The sand pears are getting harder to find, and of course that means less pie and fewer treats for the elk here. We're able to gather all the fruit I'll need.
Be kind to those less.
Did you have a difficult time finding enough? It's been taking me longer with each trip. Soon I'll have to stop altogether since I won't have the time. Since I won't be able to spare the time. Thank you for gathering the pears for me, Desik. Gives me a chance to make a last pie or two before the season's out.
Dionys Akar.
That's still not working. Oh, that's annoying that a bit of UI is busted. Well done, Desik. The Ravager population will bear watching for some time to come, but we've made a good start. Can I even benefit from agility? Because at some point they remove it. Spirit's still here, as is agility. Does boost critical hit. See, that's another thing I kind of miss with WoW, is that in like pre-Pandaria, pre-WoD, you had the 5 stats and you could benefit from them all. And while you would have a favored stat, like, you'd want strength, you'd want, agility, int, you could benefit from them all. Nowadays you get 3 or 2. Like, as a paladin I get strength and stamina, that's it. I benefit from nothing else, I can't even see them. So if I, for whatever reason, wanted to go in agility pally, I can't get agility gear. So, yeah, it's frustrating because it takes the RPG out of the game, So, but that's what all these games are about. It's, stripping it down and making it as gray slush as possible.
Blessings